Lay back, unwind. Groove to the rhythm, it'll soothe your mind. Live, laugh, light, throw some shade along the way. Oh, please behave. Some might say, oh, let's go. It's time to turn on your radio. Vibes will flow, just so you know. You're kicking it with K, that's all I'm gonna say. Let's go.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Kicking It with Camaryn podcast. I am, of course, Camaryn, and here at the Kicking It with Camaryn podcast, we are a podcast that talk about our issues. We like to give out advice and helpful tips. We have bring on experts who are expert in their field to tell you about certain tips and what have you. And we believe here at the Kicking It with Camaryn podcast that every conversation can lead to change. So that's why we say Kicking It with Camaryn, because when we just kick it, when we just have a conversation, that can change one person's mind to do something or to get help or whatever the case may be. And today will be the last podcast episode for the year until 2022. I'm going to take a little break. Your girl needed, okay? And we're going to come back bigger and better than ever. I believe I found a new editor. Yes, I did. So, we're going to be, I'm just doing some different things and keeping up with the same format, but it's going to be a little bit different. And we're just going to have more fun. It's more guests, more topics, more risque topics. I know a lot of people loved the Sex Talk podcast with our guest expert that we had, DeAndrea, and she was wonderful. And she is going to be our go-to sex therapist. So when we talk about those nice topics, she's going to be the one that come on. So everybody, just thank you for supporting us again. Thank you for rocking with us this year, 2021. And thank you for liking and sharing the podcast. Continue to do so. If you are listening to us for the first time, or if you listened and you have not subscribed, you have not followed, you have not received automatic downloads of when the episode drops on whatever platform you are listening to us on, go ahead and do that, okay? Go ahead and do that. So today, we're just going to talk about 2021 and everything that happened in it, the good, the bad, the ugly, okay? 2021 was a doozy, especially for me. But so my last podcast episode of the year, I want to bring on my home girl, my sister girl. Y'all know her. And I wanted to do this with her because why not, right? She's always fun. She's always entertaining. So right now, I want to welcome to the show Camaryn Elaine. Hey, Cam.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, y'all. Look, so when we were backstage before we were about to go live, I was like, oh, I look kind of she came up here looking like that.
Well, as a actor, honey, you don't know what you're gonna get. You might get an afro, you might get some braids to the back, but luck, honey, you got your my little hair thing on today. I want to be blind, y'all. I know y'all ain't used to this, but just changing up. You know how we do.
Yeah, that's how we
but
do.
You look
girl.
Wonderfully, beautifully natural, as you always do, girl. Please, this child can dress. She always slaying. So.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. And thank you for the hair. She did my hair, y'all. She did my box braids.
So anybody wants some braids, call Camaryn.
All right.
You can get a 20% discount. Okay.
Hey. All right. So before we get into it, and we're not going to be before the people long. We're just going to do.
Glory to God.
All right. We're just going to do a year in review, like what most podcasters are doing for their last podcast episode of the year. I just want to reflect back to 2021. And girl, girl,
Well,
My
I can go ahead.
mhm. I said my 2021 started wonderfully. I was planning a wedding, and I was just in the clouds, just planning and everything. And then um, late July happened. I wasn't planning a wedding no more, which is good now that I see it, in hindsight.
The
And
Lord works in mysterious ways.
yes, girl, don't he? Won't he do it? But and then, but not just that, but a lot of things start to open up for me. New opportunities, new um, passion projects that came about, and Cam and I were going to talk about one of those passion projects at the end of the show. So stay tuned. It's a good one. I just this it's been 2021 for me. It's been like up, down, and then up again. What about you?
Ooh. After 2020 is always looked at upon as, you know, vision and things coming to pass and you seeing things clearly. 2021 was 2020 plus one, which I believe made things for me even clearer than they were in 2020. Um, so I think the year started off well. I think that for me, it started off well. I think this year I did a lot of learning,
Mm,
a lot of growing, and a lot of embracing myself. Just like I believe, different things that happen in our lives, we grow through them, and that's how we get through them because it's always lessons to be learned in whatever
hmm
it is that we're going through. So I think that we are growing through them. So 2021, I believe, has been a great year. It has, of course, had its ups and downs. My down part was, I lost my dad this year,
Yeah.
but I know that he knew who God is, and so that's my comfort comes from that. So for anyone who may have lost a loved one, just I hope that you find your comfort in God because He will give you comfort. So, but other than that, 2021 has been pretty good.
Right. And I just want to piggyback on what you said. And because grief and loss can come in many ways. And when I went to church this past Sunday, that was like the message. And it was just really good. And because it's not only can come in the form of like losing a loved one, but losing a relationship,
Yeah.
losing a job, that you wanted promotion, or losing, something that you just really, really wanted and anticipated, and you didn't get it. So anybody out there that you lost something in 2021, don't fret, because I'm a true believer that you're going to get back everything plus some.
Yes. I I totally agree. I totally agree with that because things in life go up and down, but when they go down, they have to come back up. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the law of reciprocity that, you're going to reap what you sow. So it's just, I believe that what you just said about loss, I think that loss can also come in a form of change. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes change comes and we look at it like it's a loss, but it's not necessarily that because when you hear the word loss, you feel like you lost something, like you're missing out on something. But sometimes when one door closes, another door opens. You can't see past that thing that you were holding on to so earnestly, or you
Mm-hmm.
can't see past the situation in the moment. But I'm a firm believer in you have to live each moment, but know that after each moment, there is another moment, and then there's another moment, and then there's another moment. And if you hold on to that, then you can get through anything because another moment is going to come, and this too shall pass, and things will get better regardless of how you feel. Now this year I can say that I dealt with a tad bit of depression, because, I was trying to, it's really hard losing a parent because you're like, they're supposed to be there forever. You pick up the phone, you take for granted, you can call your mother or your father. And, I was blessed to have my parents at such an older age. My dad was going to turn 80 next year, and my mom is 80 now. And it's just, you just take for granted some things. So we just have to learn to not take things for granted, and just to not take things and people in our lives for granted, and stop saying that tomorrow I can do that tomorrow, or I'll go see them next week, or I'll talk to them later. If somebody's on your heart, talk to them, call them, because you may be the one person that they need to talk to that can change their mind and change their situation and help them get from one moment to the next.
Yeah, that's true. And I think too, this year, for maybe some people, I know for me, it was the year too of stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out of your box, the things that you're usually gravitate towards. And I know in several areas of my life, I had to step out the box, and it's wonderful outside this box.
It's a whole new world outside the
A
box.
whole new world.
We can't do nothing without singing, girl. I think also that in the world that we live in, people put you into boxes and they make you think that you're in a box, or they box you in because you're supposed to do things this way. You're supposed to do things within this time. I think that this year I learned that time is of the essence. Getting, now that I'm maturing and getting older, you've always heard such negative connotations about getting older. But as I find that I'm growing older, it's more freedom in growing older. I don't explain myself anymore. I take risks. I step outside of my comfort zone, because when you're stepping outside of the box, that's what you're doing. You're stepping outside of your normal, what makes you feel comfortable. And what you find when you do step outside the box or out of your comfort zone, there's a whole new world, and you can find out so many wonderful and extraordinary things as you explore life and live life and stop hiding in your box. I say hiding in your box because it's a whole world, and your box may be this big, but the Bible always says enlarge your territory.
Yes.
So don't be in a box, make your area bigger, explore things and discover new things. And that's the way that we should live our lives, constantly learning and discovering.
Yeah. And again, like, 'cause we're just talking about right now, just I guess like life lessons that we've learned in 2021. And you said learn, like, because new things, like I said, new things will come about. Because even if you are in a position, you're listening to us right now, and you are in a position where you feel stuck, if you feel like you're just stagnant,
Older.
yeah, we are encouraging you to step outside your box. Step outside your box. Step outside of your comfort zone. Step outside of the way that you would normally do things. Because for myself, I had to come to the realization, like, okay, so if I want something different, I have to do something different. I can't do the same things and expect something different. So
that feels uncomfortable. Doing things different is very uncomfortable
because it's unknown.
We just have to constantly be going forward motion, because like when you are stagnant, you just sitting there like you're floating. If you're just staying in the same spot, that's where a lot of times we look outside of ourselves to try to find the key to life, to find answers, to find happiness. But what I am finding is happiness is within. You have to be happy within in order to be happy outside of yourself. You can't, you're not responsible for anyone else's happiness.
And they're not responsible for your happiness.
Yeah. Everybody is, you come in the world alone. God blesses us to have relationships with people, but nobody is, don't put the weight on anyone to make you happy or feel like they have to carry you through your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the one that puts up your sails. You're the one that has to catch the wind, not somebody else. You have the power within you, the wisdom within you. You just have to tap into it to have whatever it is that you want to have, and trust the process. A lot of times people want to just do things and poof, tomorrow is going to happen, because we have TikTok and TV, which is a lot of smoke and mirrors of things instantly happening. And that's not the reality of the world we live in. You have to work and you have to put forth effort, and you may fail.
Yes,
But if you keep trying, you're not going to keep failing.
that's
Something is
right.
going to manifest.
That's right. And I don't want to get this quote wrong, but I know it's from Benjamin Franklin. So they was like, you failed X amount of times, when he was trying to, do with the electricity and or his inventions. And he said he don't look at it like as failure. He just look at that as different ways not to do something.
And in the immortal words of Aaliyah, if at first you don't
First you don't
succeed,
succeed,
brush
but you
yourself off and
don't
try again.
succeed.
You can brush yourself and try again.
Right. It's nothing wrong with trying, because if you don't try, you won't know. Okay. All
And
right.
and most people don't get things right the first time. So
No,
don't beat yourself up. Don't be so
no.
hard on yourself. Um, and also, I think another thing I learned this year was to learn to rest, because
Mm,
we live in a world of like, you need 7 streams of income and 30 jobs and da da da. Sometimes you can get to be so busy that you can't focus because you're doing so many things. That's why you just have to be still. Take the time
yes.
to get your sleep. Take the time to do things that are going to improve your life. You have 24 hours in a day. You want to learn something, you can learn anything basically you want to learn off YouTube in a 2 to 3 minute video. They have millions of them. Anything you want to learn, you can learn it that way if you don't have time to sit down and read books. It's just, I say all that to say it's such a wealth of information. We live in an age of information. Sometimes it's too much information in a negative way, but take the time to rest. And if you are confused about what you're supposed to be doing in life, pray about it, be still, and just
That
let it
is
happen
that's
for
good. Taking time to rest, because after my breakup, and I thank you and my other friends, other five, for just being there. You guys were very instrumental in my healing process, because I had to get away. I had to step out of that situation and around, things that reminded me of that situation. I went to California for a whole week with my brother and my mother and my family, my sister-in-law, my nephew. And that was my form of rest.
hmm
And when I got back, I was just my mindset was totally different. Because when you get remove yourself from a situation, and like you said, you go off and you rest, so much clarity comes to you, so much clarity.
and
Oh my gosh,
it's
so much
it's something
clarity.
about,
And
it's
that's
something also about the water. Water has such healing properties, that and the sun. If you get you some vitamin D, and I'm talking about the sun, um and you get a chance to be by the water has such healing properties. Even if you just are somewhere and you take your shoes off and you let your feet touch the ground and you get connected with the earth, it just brings a healing thing to you. So rest can come, like they have those new things. I want to try that too, the salt thing where you just float on your
yeah.
back in the water. I really
Mhm.
want to try that. I think that will be really healing, because salt, that it does something to you,
Yeah,
helps your body.
salt has healing properties.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I just think whatever it is that can help you heal. And if you can't go to California, we have beautiful beaches all around Michigan, beautiful private beaches. Just get out a map, an area, Google, see if you can go there. Just put your feet in the water and the sand when it gets warmer, of course. But
Right.
just find different areas that you are right here in Michigan. Michigan is a beautiful state that you can go and get some rest and relaxation. Whether even if it's an Airbnb or just taking a nature walk from time to time, that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that we've gotten like what we've learned and what we got out of 2021, I want to talk about like there's a lot of things that happened. There was a lot of movies that came out. There's a lot of um, albums and music that came out. It's full of entertainment. So I want to know, and I don't know if you want me to go first. I can. What were some of your favorite movies of 2021?
I love all the Marvel movies. I'm a Marvel head. I just do
You
every
like
time
Black
I post
Widow?
something. Huh?
You like the Black Widow?
I did because she empowered me as a woman. Because I always thought to myself, if I wanted to be a superhero, I wanted to be her. I think they could have had a little bit more action in it, from my standpoint. And some things, sometimes with the superhero stuff, it'd be like really extreme. You'd be like, bye. But you smile through it because you like the series. But I think my favorite movie was a Detroit-based movie
Mm,
called In a Sentimental Mood. I think it was
mm.
beautifully written by Zachary Cunningham. It had our Detroit's own Deborah Lane Spencer, and I forgot the guy's name. I
I
could see
forgot his name too. I just
it's
saw it.
hilarious.
And you all can watch that on Tubi. And let
Yes,
me tell you, when you watch those movies on Tubi, let the ads play because that's how the filmmakers and everybody in it gets paid. So just let it play. Okay.
and you want your filmmakers to get paid.
Yes.
Um, I thought it was beautifully scored musically. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the writing was beautiful, and the thing I really loved about the movie was the stillness.
Mm.
It wasn't a whole lot of verbiage and emotions and people crying and acting like a fool. It was just sincere type of emotion, and it was executed beautifully with the surroundings, with the music score. Everything just went hand in hand. It was a really beautiful piece of work. That was one film I liked in Detroit, and the other film that I really enjoyed. There's been a lot of them, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that that stood out because the storyline was simplistically beautiful. And then my other pick that I also liked from Detroit was a movie called Dear Future Husband um, by Naomi Nicole, and she's also a Detroit writer.
Oh, were you in that one?
I was.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it because I had a
Yeah.
little thingy in it. It was just a really nice movie. It was a tribute to her husband, um, and it was really nice. It was just something different because we have a lot of films in Detroit that are about the drug game. You got your
Mm-hmm.
street things going on, and everybody doing their things
Yeah.
from dimes to
Bad, bad,
all the
bad,
movies
bad
they have.
girls.
But those two movies to me really stood out for movies from Detroit because they were um like I said, In a Sentimental Mood just did it all for me for this year. I was just like,
That
when I
was,
finished watching it, I was like,
yeah, that was beautifully made. It was different. And I love different.
it was about human connection and healing. And I think for me, that's what really just got me because I'm all about movies with meaning and healing. And it was a movie that didn't have sex. It was like some sexual type tension, um, because it was but it was just very intelligently written. Like I said, it was just a beautiful movie, and I thought it was wonderful because I don't want to tell the movie, but like I
Right.
said, for 2021, that was my favorite that I saw.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay. One of mine was Cruella.
I ain't get to see that yet, but I'm gonna.
I saw it twice. It was wonderful. Emma Stone was Cruella. I love everybody. Well, not everybody know, but people know who knows me knows I love fashion. It was fashion meets music. Oh my God, the cinematography was it was just beautiful. The story was good. The acting was good. I was surprised. Okay, because I haven't really seen 101 Dalmatian like the cartoon.
I have a million times, and I like it. So to see them bring that to life, I think is going to be very interesting. Especially, I heard so much about the wardrobe because I know you are a
Yes.
fashionista, and I heard so much about the wardrobe, and I'm really curious to see how that looks.
Yeah, that was good. Like I said, I saw it twice. So that was a favorite of mine. The Harder They Fall was a favorite.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, we did a movie review on that, and
Yeah.
we loved it because it had a the cast was just wonderful, and it was again something different,
Mm-hmm.
and we like the shout out the what do you call it? The tribute to Chadwick Boseman,
Yes. Yes.
and Regina King did her thing. I love her.
She did her thing. The lead guy did his. They all the Keith. They all did their thing. Deion Cole. They all did their thing. Idris. I mean, it's good. If you have not seen that one, it is on
Netflix,
Netflix, and I believe Cruella is on Disney Plus. I believe.
and I have that. I'm telling you, I watched that tonight. Uh,
And what else did I like? It was quite a few. Like a lot of the Marvel, like because you mentioned Marvel, I like some of the Marvel series, like WandaVision. I loved.
I did
And
like that because it was such a different twist.
yes, it was. And I like Loki, like out of the
I
Marvel.
know you like Loki out there too. He is such a jerk, but he is.
I liked
His
Loki.
characters. Mhm. We also watched a movie called The Passing, and I did like that. It was a more of a what do you call, like a throwback movie. I love the cinematography on that one as well. The way that they filmed and a lot of the angles and stuff. It was really beautifully done,
Yeah,
cinematography wise.
right. You're right. And I think those were like some of the movies that really stood out. Or and I like In the Heights because I love musicals and I love Lin Manuel. I really wanted to see that when it was a Broadway musical, but I'm glad he brought it to the big screen. I really liked In the Heights, and yeah, there's a few of
And
those.
and
Hmm.
I went to see Set It Off as a musical, and I when I saw them say that they were going to do Set It Off I was like, that's stupid. I would never go watch that. It was dumb, but they did their thing. They had Vanessa Simmons, Simmons' daughter. The brat got up there. She did her thing. She was spitting bars. The whole cast was excellent. So if you ever are in a city, that would be a great play musical thing to go see.
Yeah, because
It's,
he brought it back. I think it started. He had it the year before last. I think before the pandemic,
mhm.
and yeah, he brought it back. Yeah. So and okay, what was some of your favorite albums or songs of 2021?
That one kind of is a little difficult for me because I don't really like listening to the radio a lot. I just am like a 90s baby, and I still, when I put on stuff, I put on Pandora and I want to listen to the old school rap, old school singing, because it's just different. Um, but I did enjoy the verses, how they had all the verses on YouTube with the different groups going back and forth. I thought that was phenomenal because they were, singing live, and it was good to see people and catch up with people, because you hadn't seen them during the pandemic or couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So I liked them.
I think my favorite album. I loved it. I listened to I loved every song on it. Jasmine Sullivan's Hotels.
Yeah.
Love, love that album.
Okay, I agree with that. I forgot about her, girl. I couldn't think of one off the top. Like, who the heck is, but yeah, can't
That
nobody touch
and Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic.
What was the guy who did your theme song? I like his song, and
Raphael Griffin.
yeah, I loved your theme song, and it was another local artist called Daniel. No, not Daniel. Uh, Mike Raw Voices. He did a song on Chocolate Kisses the movie soundtrack, and this song is actually called Chocolate Kiss. I like his song too.
Okay, look at Cam. Shouting out the local folks. Go
Shout
ahead.
out, shout out. Yeah.
And yes, because Raphael Griffin, he did my theme song. He was on this year our center stage, so you can check that out, his center stage, because he have his own music, as well. And the art Kicking It with K Marie theme song is available on all streaming platforms. You can listen to it if you want to buy it, whatever. It's a whole song. It's not just a theme song, y'all.
It's
It's
a
a
whole
whole
entire
it's
song.
a whole song. He did his thing on my song. Okay.
And I also like check out Beth Griffith Manley. She has a Christmas album this year. She had one last year too. She's a local artist here in Detroit, Michigan as well. We got so much talent here.
We
It's
have a
like
lot of
it's
talent.
ridiculous.
We have a lot of talent. I mean, I know you listen to us from all over, but we just have to brag on our city. We have a lot of talent in Detroit. We do.
Motown, baby.
Motown, and we coming up on the movie scene, on a filmmaking tip too. And speaking of that, because we are getting ready to close, another thing that we did this year and that I discovered was a passion project of mine is because I love movies. I'm a huge movie buff. Those that know me, I've been going to the movies since I was little. My mother's been taking us to every opening weekend ever since we were little. The first movie I remember seeing in the theater was Popeye with Robin Williams. That's the first one
Oh, I love that movie.
that I remember seeing. So my love for movies came from my mom, me, my mother, and my brother. We all love movies. So the next best thing for me, or the next step, was to make, produce, write, and direct my own movies. So I have Camaryn to thank. She introduced this workshop from Tamashian Jones. He is a 3-time Emmy winner from the D, okay?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan. And he had a process of filmmaking workshop. We're going to have, or we already talked to him, we're going to have him on the show next year. So to talk about his workshop, but we took his workshop and we did hands-on filmmaking from
Lighting to script
pre-production, production, and post-production. We learned about like lighting, writing the script, storyboarding it. I mean, everything. Okay.
budgets, which is
Budgets, most important. Budget, script breakdown, everything. We learned everything. Pretty much there is
step by step
about filmmaking, sound, all of that. So what we did as a class, we made a student film. Okay. We wrote it. We did the casting call. We picked the actors to be in it. We directed it. We semi-edited. We helped him edit it.
we helped it.
Right. And so that pushed me into doing something that I love to do. And as a result of that, I have a few projects coming up, movies of my own that Cam and I, we have.
We're collaborating.
It's all about collaboration, baby. It's about teamwork. Okay. And so we saw our film. We had the pleasure on our last day, on December 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Our last day of class, December 8th, he had a panel of Detroit filmmakers who are doing the doggone thing. We learned from them. We got nuggets from them. And then we saw our movie, which is wonderful. Wanted Love. It's a short. And the good news is we are going to premiere it on Valentine's Day.
Details
So
to come.
yes, details to come. So I'm gonna, when the time comes and it gets closer, what my plan is to have a few of the actors on, some people from class, like I said, because we did this thing, we did it.
And the good part was we really got to meet a lot of people who had the same dream and the vision that we do. And it was really nice to be all on one accord, work together, and develop relationships that will spill over and for probably a lifetime. I can't wait to work with the different people
Yes,
and on different projects, because one thing about filmmaking, you need a strong team. You need
yes,
a strong team that you can communicate effectively with, and be able to get it done. Because when we filmed this film, we did it in one day.
right. What, 15-hour day?
And Tamashian was so efficient. He had everything organized to the T, so we did not have problems with lighting. We did not have problems with sound. So that just pushed me to know that when I do a film, I'm going to call Tamashian. And if you're doing a film, you need to call Tamashian too.
Yes,
Tamashian Visionary Jones is his name on Facebook, and his his company is called T-Bop Media.
media.
So he's very knowledgeable. And if you decide to call him at T-Bop Productions, tbopmedia.com, let him know that Cam McKay sent you on over there.
That's
So when we
right.
get our film, we can get some little bonus points.
Right.
Also, you can we have points. We are on IDMB as writers, directors, and we are so excited about this
Yes.
project because and I want to just say really quickly
Mm-hmm.
that don't give up on your dreams. If you are pursuing things, when God knows that you're trying to do stuff, he will drop things in your lap. It's not anything that you have to, people like my blood, my sweat, my tears. We serve a God that he will open doors. The Bible says that if you let the desires of your heart be known and you're prayerful and you talk to him, he will open doors. And so when this happened, we didn't know we were going to make a film. It
No.
was just, but it's something we had been talking about. We were like, we're going to do a film because we have been writing and working on some things. But
Mm-hmm.
God is so awesome that the class dropped in my lap. Tamashi said, hey, if I give a class, would you come? And I was like, yeah, I'll come. And I was like, let me gather all of my friends and people that I know that are interested in filmmaking as well. And it turned out wonderful. And again, like Kay said, we are so excited about 2022 and all the things that are going to occur, not just for us, but for you. All
Yes.
it takes is put one foot in front of the other. Get rid of the naysayers. Don't talk to negative people about your dreams. You find like minded people who believe, that are positive, that are doing things like yourself. Even if you're not doing it yet, you surround your people with people who are doing it so that you can gain the knowledge and get understanding. If you're around people that are doing it and you are letting them know that you're interested and they're not trying to help you. Now, I'm not saying that people are going to tell you everything, because people have to see that you're serious about things before they decide to pour into
Exactly.
you. But what one person won't do, another person will. So just don't ever stop giving up on your dreams. You can also look into resources on YouTube. You can look into resources on Udemy University, which has different classes, and also on what's the one? The master class is really good
Yeah.
too for a lot of different things. So utilize your resources.
Yeah.
They're
And like
out
Cam said,
there.
right. And like Cam said, it's never, as long as you have breath in your body, it is never too late to start on a passion projects, to start working on your dream project. It's never too late. Never. Okay.
And work on you. Work on you. And
Yes.
it'll come organically. You won't even have to. God is
Yes.
awesome.
So again, um, our short movie is called, student film is called Wanted Love, and we are going to premiere it in the Detroit if you're in the Detroit area, we are going to premiere in Detroit on Valentine's Day. And again, I'm going to have a podcast episode with some of the cast, and we'll tell you more about that, exactly where and all of that good stuff, because we're going to have a premiere, baby. Okay.
Yes, we're doing it.
Girl, we made a movie.
We ain't talk about it. We made it.
We made it.
A whole lot of other beautiful, motivated people. So we're so excited about what 2022 is going to bring. So yeah, we went through different things in 2021, but on the high note, we made a movie. It's coming out in 2022, and shout out to some of the people on the panel, Paige Austin, which Kay has had on her show, Zachary Cunningham, Moolah Films, Thomas, the lady came from
the Detroit Film Festival.
From the Detroit Film Festival, and the two men that made the movie, The Bad Girls.
Yes.
So we had
Howard and Willie.
A great panel who gave us
Urban. I forget their company name. Is Urban Cinema or something like that. But yes, so you all, if you're listening to us, and because it's not over yet, we still have some time in 2021. You still have some time to get it right. Okay, it's not over. So if you have been, it's not over. So if you have been struggling, or if you're just like, oh, I can't wait until this year is over with, just hit a reset. Just hit a reset in your mind and just write down your goals for 2022. It's always good to write things down.
Or write them down and start tomorrow. Everybody always has this big thing in their head, like when the new year comes, God gives you a new beginning every day. Start tomorrow. Write your stuff down tonight. Write the vision down. Start writing it down. Do something. And then wake up tomorrow and execute one thing. If you can't get all your long-term goals, write you short-term goals. Little things that you can do today to make yourself better, to empower yourself. And also remember, while you're going through all this stuff to help yourself, help somebody else.
Yeah.
Because that will bless you for being a blessing to others. Now, I'm not saying, bless somebody else the way that God tells you to do it.
Yes.
Because it has to be the way that you do it, not the way other people think you should. But what God puts in your heart.
So thank you so much, Cam, for coming on. Just doing this recap of 2021. And I want to thank all my guests this year, from every series that we had, every expert that came on, every guest. Thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You helped a lot of people, and just be expecting more from us. And again, just thank you, because you didn't have to come on. You did not have to give up of your time to be on our show, and I am very appreciative of your time and of your expertise. Thank you. And I want to get together. I want to get with my editor, my new editor, Nicole, my new editor. Look, I'll put that out there.
Lady.
Yes, I want to get with her and just do a nice little tribute video to all my guests, because I thank you so much. And thank you again, everyone. You can catch Camaryn on a few movies on Tubi, Dear Future Husband. What else, Cam?
I just finished a film called Meeting Boone.
That was so good. She was, y'all, look. She was good in that. She's a good actress.
Thank you.
She was really, she's I call her a scene stiller, because
you're so kind. But Kay is my girl. She gonna be in some stuff too. We working on it. But
yeah, I've done a little. I used to act back in the day, so
she's a creative. She can do anything. Trust me.
Yeah, I said I was going to, with my films and our films, I'm gonna be like a Quentin Tarantino or an M. Night Shyamalan, where I have like a little cameo.
Sorry, that's all I got to say.
And come out.
Sorry, but you can also find me on Camaryn Elaine on Instagram. You can find me on Mondays on what is that called? You Cult TV on a podcast, and also you can find me with Kay on YouTube on All Things Cam and Kay, and on Facebook is Camaryn Kimball. So hey.
Yep. So y'all make sure you follow her, okay? Follow her. And like she mentioned, we have All Things Cam and K on Facebook and All Things Cam and K YouTube page. Because we got some things coming up, y'all. We got some things.
Content.
So thank you all. I'm praying that you have a great holiday. Be safe on bringing in the new year. Be safe. Drink responsibly if you're going to do that. And
we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Right.
And a Happy New Year.
Yes, we do. So thank you everybody for rocking with Kicking It with K Marie. Thank you. Again, subscribe. We're on every streaming platform, wherever you listen to podcasts. And we have our Instagram page at K Marie Podcast. At K Marie Podcast on all streaming platforms, social media platforms, I should say. And then again, we're on all the streaming platforms where you listen to your podcast, like iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, everything. So we there, except for Tidal. I didn't do Tidal yet, but yeah. So thank you guys, and we are out. I'm going to miss you, and I'm going to see you next year.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Turn up the radio. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm going to say. You're here now.